Hello everyone, this is Naya Patel and welcome back with me on the Mom Edition. So today we are going to discuss some of the problems that a breastfeeding mother could face. Breastfeeding is a great bonding experience with your baby, but we have to prevent certain problems that could occur, and if we know beforehand what we could do if we end up with having the problems or prevent them completely, that's a great way. So let's get quickly into it and ensure that we have the most comfortable and enjoyable breastfeeding experience. So the number one problem that we are going to discuss is that of cracked nipple, which arises when the baby has chewed a lot of your breast or has stomped on it or has bitten you, or it's just that maybe the environment is dry and your nipples have become dry and become cracked. They might be bleeding, there might be a bruise, they are just raw and they are painful, especially when the baby feeds. So what you can do about that is try and keep them moisturized. So if you feel that there is a hint of dryness on your nipples, immediately take up some coconut oil, which is completely safe for your baby. If at all certain particles of it go into its mouth, so just rub on that coconut milk and massage your nipples to make them really moisture and really healthy. In case you end up with a cracked nipple, just don't give up yet. What you can do is use a lanolin based ointment and as directed on the tube or by your doctor, apply it whenever you can and make sure that it heals faster. Another one way to prevent a cracked nipple is to ensure proper latch. So for example, this is your breast, this is your nipple area. If this is your baby's mouth and it latches just on the front part of your nipple, obviously all that intensity is concentrated in that little area. Whereas we want the baby's mouth to be latched onto the areola part, where it, even if it is intensely sucking, you could bear that. So what I learned by my breastfeeding experience is, this is your breast, okay, and this is your baby's mouth. Just keep teasing, and once that mouth is wide open, you insert your breast and the baby will close its mouth instead of just that small mouth catching your little nipple. So by the teasing, the baby is searching for that and then really widely open its mouth, and then you insert your breast into your baby's mouth. That is a proper latch, where your most of the areola is inside your baby's mouth. And remember, all the milk ducts are concentrated over here. So if the baby is latching onto the areola, it can properly stimulate all the milk ducts and we can ensure that everything is coming down nicely and the baby is feeding properly. Second thing is, you can try different positions. If one position is not comfortable enough for you and your baby and the latching is not good in that position, you can try various positions which are available, and you could search some YouTube videos as well and experiment with which one works the best for you. For example, the football hold is a really good position, especially for mothers with C-section, because it takes off the weight of your tummy, and probably if you are feeling comfortable, you could feed your baby in a better way. Next is, if you have a cracked nipple, you could use your own breast milk and just use that as an ointment, because breast milk has cholesterol, which has actual living cells in it. So it has tremendous healing power, and using that for your cracked nipples is going to be helpful. In fact, I used to use my breast milk even on my baby. If the baby is having like a small cut or it's hurt somewhere, I just quickly used to express my breast milk and put on that area, and it definitely heals well with breast milk. Another thing that could help to prevent as well as treat cracked nipples is just to air dry your nipples and just to let them breathe, because generally with a new baby you have so many guests coming over, you have so much drama in the house going on, you don't really get time to yourself. So just lying down and let your breasts breathe and let the nipples be as dry as possible, you could prevent yourself with a cracked nipple. And also you could use breast pads which will soak the moisture of your nipple and keep them dry throughout the day. And make sure to not use a damp breast pad for a long period of time, because then rather than preventing, it would actually cause problems like cracked nipples, or it could cause problems like infection or a thrush, so which we will talk about in the later session. But do make sure that you don't use your damp pads. If they are damp, they are good as gone. Additionally, breast pads are made of really gentle and soothing, softer materials. So if you have like a breast pad protecting your nipple from the external clothing which could be rough on you, it would act like a barrier to all that friction that is happening with your clothes. So breast pad could also be helpful in that case. If you have a cracked nipple, it would make it less painful. Also, one motherly tip I could give you is if you have a cracked nipple, you could try and feed your baby on the healthier breast first, because the initial sucking is really intense as the baby is hungry initially. So that intense sucking could be painful for you. So if you feed on the healthier breast first for a couple of minutes and then switch to the breast with the nipple crack, it would be less painful, because we know we don't have to stop feeding from the breast which is hurt, because if we stop feeding, it is going to lead to breast engorgement, which is our next common problem. And it is so common that generally in the first 2 to 3 days, breast engorgement happens with most of the mothers, as the demand and the supply relation has not yet established, and our infant is so small, right, with their small tummies and small hands and everything small. Okay, I am going off track. Anyways, they are so small that their appetite is not much, and even like a spoonful, like a teaspoon of breast milk is enough to make them full. So in the first 2 to 3 days, if your milk has completely come in, you might face breast engorgement. And one thing that could help prevent it is pumping in the initial first week. Even if you are not giving it to your baby who has a really less appetite, you could donate it to the hospital or to the maternity clinic and help other children out. But what pumping does is it helps to establish a really good flow of milk, because you're getting all the milk out which is being developed, and that is telling your body that yes, you need to keep producing. So obviously after the first weeks, the baby is going to feed more. So I have actually told this even in my previous video, that investing in a breast pump is really a wise decision, because even if your milk supply has not kicked in, and if you start pumping, it will tell your body that the baby is out, you need to produce milk now. So that sucking motion of the breast pump will stimulate your breast tissues and will help to get your milk come in. And also, if you are having breast engorgement, expressing that excess milk will make sure that your breast is not engorged and it will not be painful for you. And taking warm showers also help with breast engorgement, because it makes the breast tissue soft, and all that heat that is generated lets the milk come down on its own, and it will come out of your breast, and whatever capacity your breast has, whatever the excess milk is there, all of that will be leaked out by itself. This has worked for me, so I can vouch for it. A warm compress and a warm shower is definitely a go if you are feeling very full in your breast and you just want some relief. Next thing you could do is try and wear non-restrictive clothing. So you could actually invest in a maternity bra which has like a clasp and it goes on and off from here, and which is generally 1 or 2 sizes bigger than your regular bra, because our breasts will expand in order for us to be able to feed our child. So using your old bras is a definitely no-no, and wearing airy clothes, flowy clothes which are not too tight, and just giving your breasts free space is definitely a good idea. Because if you don't treat your engorged breast and make sure that all the excess breast milk has been expressed, whether you feed it to your baby, whether you hand express it, or whether you pump it, if you don't treat your engorged breast, it could lead to a blocked milk duct. So what is a blocked milk duct? So our breast is made up of many ducts which carry the milk towards our nipple. So there is a possibility that suppose this duct, the milk in this duct has completely hardened and it cannot come out. It cannot move from there. So it could become as hard as the bone in your finger. So that is a blocked milk duct, which is really painful, and you could actually, when you massage your breast in circles like this, in order to get relief from engorged breast, you could actually feel like there is some mass, there is some hard stone-like thing in your breast. So that is a blocked milk duct. So treating a blocked milk duct right away is mandatory, because otherwise it's going to be very painful and it could lead to further complications. So suppose you have hit a blocked milk duct, what you can do is take your thumb and just press that duct all the way to your nipple, and do that 10 to 15 times. Try pushing that milk towards the nipple and try breaking that duct up. It would be painful to touch, but if you are massaging it in circular motions, it could be less painful. So try and get and break all that milk and get it out of the nipple. So what you can do is, after you have fed your baby, and if you are going to take a shower, take a warm shower, or you could sit in a bathtub if you have that time, relax, and you could actually massage all your breast and push that milk out, and you come out of the shower and you express every last drop of milk from your breast. That will make sure that if you have something stuck, it is going to come out. But do that after you've fed your baby, because you don't want empty breasts if your baby is hungry. So hopefully that will break down the milk duct. So in order to prevent blocked milk ducts, nursing frequently, massaging your breast, or taking warm showers have always worked for me. In fact, whenever I was in a shower while I was breastfeeding, I always used to do like a 1 minute of quick massage, like going circular, and then pushing all the milk from all my ducts out like this. I mandatory used to do that for both of my breasts, and thankfully I've never got a blocked milk duct. My breast was engorged once, but because I knew these were the things I could do, I got immediate relief.